What's up, everybody? Welcome to Fantasy Sports Now. Today we're talking about Week 7 streamers and two start pitchers to look for this week as we continue on our fantasy season. I like to jump right into the content, and I'm sure you do too. So let's just go ahead and do that. Before we get to Week 7, we like to look back at Week 6, view our successes and our failures. I'm not going to go through all of these, guys. I don't want to waste your time. Feel free to pause the video, check out some of the stats. These were some of our picks last week that succeeded. We're not out picking a ton of guys. We're only picking one or two most each day. So to have this many successes throughout is very nice. Mostly we're looking for these streamers not to get blown up and to really have good starts. Some guys I am proud of, Griffin Canning pitched well again. The Garrett Richards one on Thursday, I'm especially proud of because we called out Sean Manaea after throwing an almost no-hitter. We talked about how coming back from that is really difficult to do, and he was just getting teed up on. They could have had a AAA pitcher pitching for Boston, and he could have gotten a win that week. So very proud of that. Montgomery, 9 Ks. Robbie Ray with another 10 Ks. So that's great stuff. But looking into some of the not successful ones, disappointed in Johnny Cueto's return. He was the thumbnail last week, so the fact that he didn't even get to go 5, he put them in a position to win the game, which is good for real-life baseball. For fantasy, not that great of a start. Montgomery, who did so well earlier in the week, did very poorly at the tail end of the week and really got lit up pretty bad. So not so happy about that one. And Brady Singer, we're going to talk about a little bit more now. So we are going to jump into Week 7. Didn't want to spend that much time onto Week 6, but we have to look at our successes and our failures just to know that we're not just throwing names out there just to have names out there. Like, we're doing this and we're having success. And if you're picking up these guys and you're streaming them, then you can be winning weeks based on these pickups, which is amazing. If you haven't seen these videos before, this is the site we use. It basically is broken down to guys that are owned in less than 50% of leagues, and you can kind of see the whole shebang here. You get an overview of the statistics, and you get to see the opponents they're facing and the pitcher. So we're going to go through and pick out some of these guys that we really like, just like you kind of saw there. And, this week I actually agree with the site on Monday here. Kikuchi last week, he came out and went against the Dodgers, and I was expecting him to get absolutely torn apart. But he had, I think it was either 10 or 11 strikeouts against the Dodgers, who eventually the bullpen blew his win that he had going on, and that's unfortunate for him. But now going against Detroit, Casey Mize has looked a little bit better now. I think he's on this list as well here, Casey Mize here. So that's not a terrible start, I suppose. He's looking a little bit better, maybe starting to get into form, but I'm still, as a Detroit man, I'm still not fully buying it yet, and I like this start here. I think that Seattle's offense is going to start clicking a little bit. Kelnick's up, and I think that's amazing. I think that this is a chance that he might be teeing off on some Tigers. So I like that start there. Moving on to Tuesday, I'm actually going to agree again with them. But it kind of feels like taking Tyon is cheating, so I'm not going to do that. He's rostered in 48% of leagues. That seems kind of low. Going against Texas is always a good start with that Yankees lineup. So I'm going to count this as my guy, kind of, but I'm going to give you a couple more names. We usually only do 2, but we're going to do 3 because this, again, feels like cheating. We're going with John Gant here. He hasn't really gone deep into many games, but he's not giving up a whole lot of runs either. He's pitched really well. He's going 5, 5.5, sometimes 6. He's kind of the guy that walks a lot of guys, but he's also striking out a lot. You can kind of see he's striking out a lot of guys too. Good ERA going against Pittsburgh. I expect Pittsburgh to be swinging, and I think he's going to get a lot of Ks. I think he might only go 5, but I think he's going to rack up some Ks. And a very similar, actually, these two are very similar this week, is Fleming. Josh Fleming at Baltimore against Matt Harvey. Matt Harvey did not look good in his last start. Of course, it was against the Mets and all that, and that's a tough one. But another guy who kind of gets out. He doesn't go very deep into games, but he's kind of been doing pretty well, and I like this matchup. So I look for Gant and Fleming to actually be my picks, and Tyon, again, kind of feels like cheating. But if he's there, I would go with Tyon, obviously. Moving on to Wednesday. Wednesday is tough because there's a lot of good matchups, but there's really only one that stands out. Again, Ohtani is owned in more than 50% of leagues. I don't know what this is about. Maybe as a pitcher, this is what this is saying. To me, that's a joke. He's obviously owned in more than that. Wednesday, to me, the only one I really like out of all of this is going to be Rich Hill. Rich Hill going against, again, Baltimore. I don't like these. He's pitching against John Means. John Means has looked like an absolute stud, but Rich Hill hasn't given up runs in 3 outings now. His last 3 starts. Granted, one of them was only 2 innings, but um, last outing he went 7 2/3. He basically went 8 innings and gave up no earned runs. So that is really good. Tampa Bay's offense has also been clicking a little bit more lately. So that is good, and I like that. So it's tough going against John Means, but if I was going to pick anybody out of this entire day, it's got to be Rich Hill after seeing his performances lately, because nothing else really sticks out here. Thursday, I wanted to call a punt day, but it's tough because you know Velasquez has looked pretty darn good actually. His last start, what did he do? He gave up 3 earned. Oh, he gave up 3 earned in his last 3 starts. Around 5 or 6 Ks per start. That's not bad, and he's been about 6 innings. So Velasquez, that's going to be my pick this week against Miami. They don't know who's pitching for him yet. That's fine. Miami's not really known as a great offensive team, so you know what? This is not that bad of a pick here. Cole Irvin, I'm going to talk about next because for some reason they have him on here twice. And I don't know why that is the case. I'm going to assume that it's the Friday start, and I'm going to kind of cheat and use him for Friday. So my pick for Thursday is Velasquez. If Irvin is there, then I'd probably go Velasquez over Irvin. But if I am going to Friday and Irvin pitches Friday, then I'm taking Irvin. Again, kind of feels like cheating because he's kind of higher rostered. But LA is just, man, they're such a tough team to watch right now. Rendon's back, which is good. Fletcher just got hurt, whatever. It's just like, man, I don't understand. Their offense is solid. Their bullpen is brutal. Their starting pitching is okay. But man, it's such a tough watch. But Irvin, he's gone deeper into games here. Last game he went basically 8 innings, and he struck out. What did he struck out? It doesn't. I don't have it on here, but the start before that, 8 innings, 1 earned, 9 Ks. LA don't like him right now. I just something about it, man. So this is my pick. Maybe not the greatest pick, but we're sticking with it. There's nothing else that really sticks out here. Jeff Hoffman really didn't pitch well enough for me to want to put him back out there last week. I thought he had some good matchups. This isn't a terrible matchup. Brad Keller has been disappointing. Going against Detroit, usually I'd like this matchup. Luke Weaver, maybe not a bad choice. At Colorado, Colorado's rather going to hit a ton or they're not going to hit a ton. But everything else in here, like I'm not going against this. I'm not going against San Diego. So let's move on. Saturday, guys, you got to be adding Robbie Ray. If he isn't owned in your league, really got to consider picking him up. He's striking out everybody, like everybody. Look at this. He's got 10 per 9. It's very nice, and he's going against Tampa Bay, which I know Tampa Bay. I just said their offense is clicking, but boy, do they like to strike out a lot. They like to strike out probably more than just about any team in the league. And when you have a strikeout pitcher and a team that likes to strike out, Robbie Ray might get 12 Ks this week. So that is absolutely going to be my pick. He's probably just jinxed him, but that's fine. I think it's going to be good regardless. The other guy I like for Saturday is J.A. Happ. Yes, okay. Obviously, he's going against the Beavers. So if you need wins, probably don't go with Happ at all. If you're looking for a win, maybe Mike Minor, even though he has disappointed this chat for a long time now. If you're looking for wins, shoot, John Lester might not be a bad pick. But if you're looking for the counting stats, J.A. Happ going against Cleveland, man, I really just dislike Cleveland's offense. Besides Reyes and Ramirez, it's just such a dead zone out there. And obviously getting that win against Bieber is going to be tough. But boy, man, tough one. Sunday, I got 2 picks for us. I'm going back to the Merrill Kelly street one more time. He's had 5 straight quality starts. They're the bare minimum of quality starts. It's that 6 innings, 3 earned. Like he's done that for 5 straight games. I'm picking on Casey Mize a little bit here, but that's fine. I think that this is a winnable game, and I think that he's going to continue to put out quality. I'm sorry. This is at Colorado. I got mixed up because my other pick is actually Brady Singer, so I mixed them up. Brady Singer's going against Casey Mize, and Merrill Kelly's going at Colorado, which normally, like I've always said, at Colorado used to be very scary. At Colorado's not that scary anymore. It just isn't. Their offense is just not what it used to be. It just isn't. And for me, Merrill Kelly and his his ERA is not great, but he's putting out good quality starts, and I like that. So that's where I'm sticking. We usually do some two-star pitchers, and usually they're a lot harder to get through and to talk about. So I actually don't have that many good two-star pitchers for you this week. This really sucks. I'm sorry about that. But the three guys that I did write down, this is more of the I have to get two starts out of my guys, somebody to pick up. The problem with the two-star guys this week, like most weeks, is like Sonny Gray's owned, Luis Castillo's owned, Lance Lynn is owned. So all these guys that are like two-star pitchers, they're already owned. So it's really hard to find guys that I actually like both starts with that are going, So anyway, let's get into. I got the three names. Casey Mize, even though I just said I like the matchups against him, I actually like the matchups for him too. Seattle and Kansas City. These are both winnable games for him. If he shows up and does well, he could perform and win both of those games. Now, I obviously like the matchups against him because Detroit's offense is brutal. But if you're looking for strikeouts in a must-start, two-start kind of thing, then that might not be a bad choice for you. The other one is kind of a riskier pick is Zach Davies. Washington is kind of coming alive again, so this start here scares me. But the St. Louis start, St. Louis has not got that killer of an offense. Really, they got like a big four, big three, really, between Carlson, Arenado, and Schmitty there. So, if you get through those three, then usually the rest of the offense isn't that bad to get through. So I don't mind Zach Davies. At some point, I think that he's really going to start turning it on. I really believe that. The other one we already talked about is Merrill Kelly. Yeah, Dodgers. Oof, tough start. Really tough start. But the Dodgers have not looked the same yet. And I think that they might not quite turn it on until after this. I think Bellinger, man, without Bellinger, they're really struggling offensively, but they kind of started to turn it back on. I really like this start. We already went over that one. But like I said, everywhere else, it's like Walker Buehler owned, Urias owned, Woodruff, he's owned. J.A. Happ here, that's not bad. The two-star at Cleveland, and this start's not great. Walker might not be bad, but he's owned. He's owned, guys. He's owned in all these leagues. Anyway, guys, I don't want to make this too long. I probably ran way over this time. There's a lot of names to get through, but we'll see you next time. Enjoy. Look for the closer report. Hit the sub button. All that fun stuff. Hope this is working out for you guys. It has worked out for me. We're winning our games, and we're winning it by picking guys up. We'll see you next time.